Happen Pharmaceuticals in association with Higher Secondary Principals Forum.
Hello everyone. Today we are going to see one of the important and interesting chapter from organic chemistry. Already we have learned in our previous class in 11th standard hydrocarbon chapter. Now quickly recollect what we have learned in the hydrocarbon chapter. What do you mean by hydrocarbon? The compounds which contains carbon and hydrogen are called as the hydrocarbon. Now, under the hydrocarbon we have studied alkane, alkene and alkyne. Correct? Now what we are going to do, let us consider one example of an alkane, that is methane. If we take alkane methane and replace one of the hydrogen with halogen, we'll get the molecular formula CH3X, that is known as the alkyl halide or haloalkane. Same way, if we take an aromatic compound, we'll take the benzene ring. The molecular formula of benzene is C6H6. Again from the benzene ring, if we replace one of the hydrogen with the halogen, the formula will become C6H5X, and that is known as the aryl halides or haloarenes. So let us begin with our chapter haloalkanes and haloarenes. Let us see the objectives. First one, name of haloalkanes and haloarenes according to IUPAC nomenclature. Second one, preparation of haloalkanes and haloarenes we are going to see in this chapter. Third, chemical reaction of haloalkanes and haloarenes, and also we are going to learn the stereochemistry to understand the reaction mechanism. Now let us begin with the chapter, the definition. The replacement of one or more hydrogen atoms of a hydrocarbon. That hydrocarbon can be an aliphatic or aromatic by an equal number of halogen atom results in the formation of haloalkanes, that is known as the alkyl halides, or haloarenes, that is known as the aryl halides. Next we will move on to the classification of haloalkanes and haloarenes. The first one classification is based on the number of halogen atoms. Now look at the example of haloalkane. The first one, if you see, it contains one halogen, that is why it is known as monohaloalkane. Mono means single. Halogen is attached to the alkyl group, so it is known as monohaloalkane. Second one, two halogens are attached to the carbon, so therefore it is known as dihaloalkane. Three halogens attached, therefore it is known as the trihaloalkane. Same way, the number of halogens attached in the benzene ring. So if one halogen is attached, it is known as monohaloarene. Two halogens are attached, dihaloarene, and three halogens are attached, therefore it is known as the trihaloarene. So this is the classification based on the number of halogen atoms attached to the carbon. Second, classification of haloalkanes and haloarenes also based on the hybridization. Under that, the first one is compounds containing sp3 carbon halogen bond. Second one, compounds containing sp2 carbon halogen bond. Now sp3 carbon halogen bond further divided into three types. First one, alkyl halides, or it is known as the haloalkane. Second one, it is allyl halide or allylic halide, and third one is the benzylic halide. Same way, sp2 carbon halogen bond is further divided into two types, that is first one is vinylic halide and second one is aryl halide. Now let us see all this in detail. Compounds having sp3 carbon halogen bond, first one is the alkyl halide. The examples are given. Now if you look at the halogen attached to the carbon, to this carbon only one alkyl group is attached, that is known as the primary alkyl halide. Second one, halogen attached to the carbon, to that halogen if two alkyl groups are attached, that is R dash and R double dash. R dash, R double dash are the alkyl group. It may be same or it may be different. So, since two alkyl groups are attached to the carbon, therefore it is known as the secondary alkyl halide. Same way, the third one, if you consider the halogen attached to the carbon and that carbon contains three alkyl group, that is R dash, R double dash and R triple dash. So, since it contains the three alkyl group, it is known as the tertiary alkyl halide. These R dash, R double dash and R triple dash may be same alkyl group like methyl group, or it may be different alkyl group also. For example, one of the R dash may be methyl, R double dash may be ethyl group and R triple dash may be again the methyl group. Okay? So, that is primary alkyl halide, secondary alkyl halide and the tertiary alkyl halide. Second one is the allylic halide. Now, what do you mean by allylic halide? These are the compounds in which the halogen atom is bonded to an sp3 hybridized carbon atom next to carbon-carbon double bond. Now, look at this halogen which is attached to the carbon. This carbon forms the single bond, that means it is forming the sp3 hybridized carbon. So, this sp3 hybridized carbon, next to that is the double bond present. So, this carbon is known as the allylic carbon. Same way, here also in this example also halogen is attached to this carbon. So, that is sp3 hybridized carbon and next to that carbon is the double bond is present. So, these are the examples of the allylic halide. Third example also, if you consider the halogen, that is the Br, is attached to the carbon. This carbon is again sp3 hybridized carbon because it has formed the single bond, and next to this carbon is the double bond is present. So, these are the three examples of the allylic halide. Third one is benzylic halide. These are the compounds in which the halogen atom is attached to an sp3 hybridized carbon atom next to an aromatic ring. In benzylic halide also, carbon will be in the sp3 hybridized form. If you look at over here, the halogen X is attached to the carbon. Again, this carbon is sp3 hybridized and next to that carbon is the double bond present. Same way in case of allylic also. Here also if you come, look at this example X, again the X is attached to the single bond. So, this carbon is sp3 hybridized carbon and next to that carbon is the double bond present. Second one is compounds having sp2 carbon halogen bond. Under that, the first one is the vinylic halide. These are the compounds in which the halogen atom is attached, to an sp2 hybridized carbon double bond. So, this is our sp2 hybridized carbon bond. So, the halogen atom will be directly attached to the carbon to which the double bond is present. Another example, same way, the halogen is attached to the carbon. This carbon is sp2 hybridized because it contains the double bond. Second one in that is the aryl halide. These are the compound in which the halogen atom is bonded to an sp2 hybridized carbon atom next to an aromatic ring. So, if you look at this example, the halogen is attached to the carbon. This carbon is sp2 hybridized, that is because here the double bond is present and this carbon is attached to the aromatic. This carbon is present in an aromatic ring. So, the compounds in which the halogen atom is bonded to sp2 hybridized carbon next to and the aromatic ring is present. One more example, same way, Br is attached to the carbon which is sp2 hybridized. So, here this is the benzene ring. So, the double bond will be present. Nomenclature, this is what we have already seen in previous standard, that is in the 11th standard, the nomenclature or how to write the IUPAC nomenclature. If you consider the first example, that is we have to consider the chain, straight chain from the right to left. This is our first carbon, this is our second carbon and this is our third carbon. The name of the compound, the common name is N-propyl bromide, or the name of the compound is 1-bromopropane. When we have to write the IUPAC name, we have to consider one equation, that is prefix plus word root plus primary suffix plus secondary suffix. Now, if you look at over here, our prefix is Br. It is having the first position, so it will be 1-bromo, hello. So, it is 1-bromo. Word root, it contains 3 carbons, so the word root will be prop. Primary suffix are 3. If it contains the single bond, it is end with the ANE. If it contains double bond, it ends with ENE. And if it is having the triple bond, it will have YNE. Here it contains single bond, so our primary suffix is ANE. Secondary suffix is not present. Secondary suffix means the functional group. This is what we have learned. Therefore, the name of the compound is 1-bromopropane. Next example. The common name of this is isopropyl chloride or 2-chloropropane, because the position of Cl is on the second, 3 carbon are there. So, the word root is prop, single bond is present, so it ends with ANE. Aromatic ring, this is the bromobenzene. Here are the few examples. Structures are given, common name and the IUPAC names are given. First one is the secondary butyl chloride. Now, if you look at this carbon, this is secondary carbon, that is because 2 alkyl groups are attached. One is the ethyl group and one is the methyl group. So, this carbon becomes a secondary carbon, that is common name is sec-butyl chloride or 2-chlorobutane. So, in this way the some of the examples are given, their common name and IUPAC names are also given. Let us move on to the methods of preparation of haloalkanes and haloarine. The first one method of preparation is from alcohols. Now, if we take an alcohol and treat that with the HX, X can be Cl or Br, that is hydrochloric acid or hydrobromic acid, and treat that in presence of the zinc chloride. Now, zinc chloride here act as a catalyst. The purpose of adding the catalyst, it will help in cleavage of carbon-oxygen bond. So, we will get alkyl halide plus water. When we are adding the zinc chloride, the carbon-oxygen bond cleaves. Here we are using, this is mainly used for the primary alcohol and the secondary alcohol. For tertiary alcohol, when we add HX, that is HCl or HBr, the reaction takes place simply by shaking at the room temperature. The second one is treating the alcohol with NaBr plus H2SO4, will get RBr plus NaHSO4 plus H2O. Third one, alcohol when treated with phosphorus pentachloride will get alkyl halide plus phosphorus oxychloride plus HCl. Again, when we treat the alcohol with red phosphorus in presence of the halogen, here X2 equals to bromine or iodine, we will get the again the alkyl halide. And the last one is alcohol when treated with thionyl chloride will get the alkyl chloride along with the byproduct sulfur dioxide and HCl. Now, if you look at, these are the methods of preparation. One more method of preparation is there, that is okay. Now, why I have taken this separately? So, for balancing we use 3 molecules of the alcohol, treat that with the phosphorus trihalide, we will get alkyl halide plus phosphorus acid. Now, out of these methods, the reaction with the thionyl chloride is preferred because the sulfur dioxide form and HCl form are 2 escapable gases, and whatever the alkyl halides will get will be in the pure form. So, this is the first method, that is from the alcohols. Now, second method is from hydrocarbons. Under the hydrocarbon, we have three methods. First one by free radical halogenation. This method we have already seen in the 11th standard. Now let us consider one example. When we take N-butane, that is a hydrocarbon, or it is N-butane, and treat that with the chlorine in presence of the UV light and heat, we are going to get the isomeric product. Isomeric because both will have the molecular formula same, only the structural arrangement is different. The one is 1-chlorobutane and the second one is 2-chlorobutane. So under the hydrocarbon, this is the first method, that is by free radical halogenation. Second one by electrophilic substitution reaction. Toluene when treated with the chlorine in presence of anhydrous FeCl3. Anhydrous FeCl3 here act as a Lewis acid. We will get two products, one is ortho and second one is the para product, and in electrophilic substitution reaction, para product is always the major product. This is also from the hydrocarbon, that is by methyl benzene, or it is also known as the toluene. Third one from alkenes. Under that two types are there, A Now, I have taken an alkene, that is an ethene, and hydrogen halide, addition of hydrogen halide. So, we have to add hydrogen as well as the halogen to an alkene. Now, when hydrogen halide gets added to an alkene, we will get alkyl halide. By taking into consideration, we will consider one more example. when we add hydrogen halide across the double bond, here we have to follow Markovnikov rule, that is what we have studied. The Markovnikov rule states that in case of unsymmetrical alkene, the negative part will get added to the carbon having less number of hydrogen across the double bond. Now, if we consider across the double bond, our second carbon contains less number of hydrogen. Therefore, Br will get attached to the carbon, second carbon. So, CH3, CH, Br, and the hydrogen will get added to the carbon having more number of hydrogen across the double bond. So, it becomes CH3, double bond will get converted to the single bond, and this is considered as the major product. Though we are getting the two product, the major product is when we follow the Markovnikov rule. But in case if we follow anti-Markovnikov rule, that time we have to add or write on the arrow peroxide, that is also known as the peroxide effect. In that case, anti-Markovnikov rule will get one bromopropane as the major product. Anti-Markovnikov rule is just opposite to the Markovnikov rule. In anti-Markovnikov rule, the negative part will get added to the carbon having more number of hydrogen across the double bond. So, this is an example of addition of HX. Second one, under that, addition of halogen. Again, when we take an alkene, that is ethene, and add halogen, here I have considered the bromine, in presence of the carbon tetrachloride. Now, this is one of the important method that is used for the detection of the double bond. Whatever the vicinal dibromide that is going to form, this is the vicinal dibromide, both the halogens are attached to the different carbon. So, vicinal dibromide which is going to form, it will be colorless, and bromine when reacts with the CCl4, it discharges the brown color. So, this is one of the method for detection of the double bond. So, these are the methods of preparation from hydrocarbon. Under hydrocarbon, first one we have seen by free radical halogenation, second one by electrophilic substitution reaction, and third one from an alkene. Under the alkene, we have seen two reactions. One, addition of the halogen, and second one, addition of the HX. Third method of preparation is halogen exchange. Under halogen exchange, we are going to see two methods. The first one is Finkelstein reaction. Now, the name itself tells you that it is halogen exchange takes place in this reaction. We treat an alkyl halide with sodium iodide in presence of the dry acetone. Here, I will get exchange with the X. So, we are going to get the iodoalkane. This is the method for preparing only iodoalkane. NaX, so X can be Cl or X can be Br also. Second method, Schwarz reaction. This is also comes under the name halogen exchange. Now, when we treat again alkyl halide with silver fluoride, halogen exchange takes place and we are going to get the fluoro compound. So, Schwarz reaction is used for preparing the fluoro compound, whereas Wilkinson reaction is used for preparing the iodoalkane and Schwarz reaction is used for the fluoroalkane. In place of silver fluoride, we can also use the mercurous fluoride, cobalt trifluoride or antimony trifluoride as a reagent. And the last method of preparation is from Saint-Meyer's reaction, very, very important. If we start with the primary aromatic amine, that is aniline, and treat that with the sodium nitrite in presence of HX at 273 to 278 Kelvin, we will get benzene diazonium halide, that is benzene diazonium salt. Further, when benzene diazonium salt treated with the cuprous chloride, we will get chlorobenzene, and if it is treated with cuprous bromide, we are going to get the bromobenzene. So, this comes under the Saint-Meyer's reaction. Even we can prepare iodobenzene also from benzene diazonium chloride. So, that is, if we treat the benzene diazonium chloride with Ki, potassium iodide, we are going to get iodobenzene. So, these are the methods of preparation of haloalkanes and haloarenes. Now, we are going to see the physical properties of haloalkanes and haloarene. Now, we know that haloalkanes or alkyl halides are colorless compounds when it is in the pure form, but it will develop the color when it is exposed to the light. Now, first physical properties that we are going to see is the melting point and boiling point. Methyl chloride, methyl bromide or some chlorofluoro compounds are gases at room temperature. Higher members are liquids and solids. As we have already learned, molecules of organic halogen compounds are generally polar. Due to greater polarity as well as the higher molecular mass, the intermolecular forces of attraction are stronger in alkyl halides as compared with the parent hydrocarbon. Now, we will see first one for same alkyl group. Now, if you look at the alkyl halide, methyl fluoride, methyl chloride, methyl bromide and methyl iodide, the alkyl group is same, that is the methyl group. But if you look at the halogens are different. So, the boiling point also differ, that means the boiling point depends upon the halogen. Boiling points of iodides are high because with the increase in size and mass of halogen atom, the magnitude of van der Waals forces increases, hence boiling point also increases. Therefore, if you look at this table, the methyl iodide are having the higher boiling point, and the order of reactivity for halides are Ri, RBr, RCl and Rf, that is alkyl iodide, alkyl bromide, alkyl chloride and alkyl fluoride. Second point under the melting point and boiling point is for isomeric haloalkane. Now, if you look at the structures, this one is the primary alkyl halide, secondary alkyl halide and tertiary alkyl halide. Now, if we consider the primary alkyl halide, secondary alkyl halide and tertiary alkyl halide, the tertiary alkyl halides are having the lower boiling point. Primary is having the higher boiling point, that is 375 Kelvin, secondary is having 364 Kelvin and tertiary is having the 346 Kelvin. So, we can say that as the branching, in this case we have only one branch, here we are having the two branches. So, as the branching increases, boiling point decreases. Third one for isomeric dihalobenzene. If we consider the ortho, meta and para dichlorobenzene, we have found that para isomer is having the higher melting point. Para isomer is having higher melting point due to its symmetrical structure. Second physical property is density. The density increases with the increase in number of carbon atoms, halogen atoms and atomic mass of the halogen atom. Third one is the solubility. Haloalkanes are slightly soluble in water because they are not able to form the hydrogen bond with the water, and less energy is released when the new attractions are formed between the haloalkanes and water. So, these are the physical property. First one melting point and boiling point, second one density and third one is the solubility. Now, next we are going to see the chemical properties of the haloalkane. Under the chemical properties of haloalkanes, three reactions are there. One is nucleophilic substitution reaction, second one is the elimination reaction and third one is the reaction with metals. Okay. Now, this is the general reaction. Alkyl halide, when we take, the nucleophile attacks on electrophile which is having partial positive charge, and the leaving group will depart as a halide ion. So, this is our nucleophile, electrophile and leaving group. Now, some important reactions of nucleophilic reaction we are going to see, that is Now, if you look at alkyl halide, when treated with the potassium cyanide, we are getting alkyl cyanide. But if we treat the alkyl halide with the silver cyanide, we are getting alkyl isocyanide. Same way, when we treat alkyl halide with potassium nitride, we end with alkyl nitride, and silver nitrate, if you take silver nitrite, we are getting the nitroalkane. Now, if you look at, we are using the same nucleophile, but we are getting the different product. That is because some of the nucleophiles are considered as the ambidient nucleophile. For example, if you consider CN, some of the nucleophiles are ambidient nucleophile. Now, let us consider the resonance structures of the cyanide. The cyanide ion can donate a pair of electrons through carbon also, and it can link through the nitrogen also. KCN is predominantly ionic, and it gives cyanide ion in the solution. In this case, carbon-carbon bond is more stable than the carbon-nitrogen bond. Therefore, it donates a pair of electrons from the carbon and the cyanide is formed. Whereas AgCN is covalent and it can donate electron through the nitrogen, and therefore, we are getting alkyl isocyanide. Same thing applies in case of potassium nitride and silver nitride. The attack takes place through the oxygen in case of the potassium nitride, and in case of silver nitride, the nitrogen is linked to an alkyl group. So, these are the nucleophilic reactions. There are two types of nucleophilic substitution reaction, SN1 and SN2, that we are going to see in our next class.
Prudent Scholars, powered by Lupin Pharmaceuticals.